Hey everyone, John Lang, Wally's Professional Services. This video today is very awesome. I made a video showing exactly how to do house washing. So if you've never done a house wash, this is everything you need to know to do a house wash. Enjoy!
Because a car is an asset, and it just really, there's something about like cars braking stupidly that like really pisses me off. Like,
actually,
such easily avoidable.
I saw in a Facebook ad by a motivational speaker that a car is not an asset, it's your biggest liability.
Okay. Well, the car is your biggest liability.
And they're proud of the problem and not the solution.
Wait, what?
Cars are part of the problem and not the solution. That's why I drive a hybrid.
Yeah, a pedal hybrid.
Hey, for those of you who are working for good bosses out there, don't forget to laugh at all of his horrible jokes so he doesn't fire you.
Yeah, so why the fuck aren't you laughing?
I did laugh.
Not enough.
Not enough. Dude. Oh man, I love my job and my boss and everything. It's such a great day. I'm so ready for the day. I really am. Those caramel frat hit the spot. If you guys are out there thinking about, hey, should I go stop at McDonald's to get a caramel chocolate chip frat bay? The answer is yes.
Oh, my alignment's off. Whoa.
My head gasket's off.
Alright, John Lang, Wally Services. Right now what I'm going to show you is exactly how to apply chemical like a professional. Perfect every single time, nothing to worry about. Excuse me for 1 second. Okay, I have to do that just to relieve the pressure because my power washer will overheat if I don't lay on the trigger at all times. So, in summary, what I'm going to do is power wash from the bottom, going all the way up, and then what I do is I do the border, so I focus on the edge. And you can kind of see, I bring the water right up to the lip here. You can see it force behind that lip, so all the chemical kind of sprays behind it. I don't know if you want to focus on that so you get what I'm saying.
Yeah, I can do that in a second when you're done.
See that?
Yeah, I can see.
Go on the other side, maybe. Here, videotape what I'm doing it. See how it goes on behind there? So what we're going to do is what I do, I take probably like a 6-foot span. I go from the bottom all the way up. Okay. And then I'm gonna keep this fan tip and do that all the way. And I kind of have like a mental note that right there is where I stop. So I kind of have a mental note of where to pick up when I switch my tip to the two-stroke. I'm just gonna keep going. Whenever you come across like an object like this, make sure you fan it behind that trim. There's a lot of mold and green and algae that grows around this trim. So when you fan it, kind of pick an object and fan it to each, just around the border. go up to the same spot I left off before. The other section. Pay attention to how I go up to that lip. It's almost like you create a little water wave and then it splashes right into the border, all behind that lip. First story. We got as much as we can with the cans in. Now we're going to switch to the two-story. Kind of the same thing. I usually just do a section, and then I move my body and do another section. Kind of So you'll notice I sprayed all the way up to the eave, and then I sprayed the whole eave. So I still went from the bottom all the way up. And then I'm gonna do that other section, that last square. So yeah, when you look at a wall, just try to mentally break it up into sections and do each section at a time. Alright, this wall is soaked. We're going to move around to the back where the deck is and let this dwell until we get that, all the soap applied over there. Go ahead and cut it for now. Alright, so now what we're doing is we're rinsing this side. Basically with rinsing, the last part you applied chemical is going to be the last area where you applied chemical is going to be the first area you start to rinse. So go ahead and take a look at the house. What I'm going to be doing is focusing on the very peak. Alright, let me describe it. What I'm going to be doing is focusing on the very peak of the home, and I'm going to wash off a little section so I have like an area to start working. I'm also going to wash off the trim, like the eaves of the roof. I'm going to rinse those off real well. So now I've created a clean edge and a little area to start. And then I'll show you by spraying, but then what I kind of do is create like a wave, like a motion, just pushing everything off to the side and just kind of work my way down. And it's going to get easier and easier to rinse the lower you get because water is rinsing down the side of the house, which is kind of already taking some of the work out for you. The hardest part of rinsing is the very top where you start. You get that cleared off real well, then the rest is a breeze. So focus most of your rinsing time on the very top and get that real clean. Alright, so now I have the top peak clean, both the edges, so now it's just siding I gotta focus on. And you'll see that I kind of draw an imaginary line right down the middle, and I start pushing things to each side. Pushing it to the side and down. And this is the fastest way I've found to rinse. Really fight this wind. Then I basically just repeat it for the other side. Now I've got the second story rinsed really well. Rinsing the bottom is really quick and easy because all that water has been rinsing down, so there's really not much left to do. Ooh. Sorry. All the siding is clean. So then before you move on to the next one, make sure you just give all the plants and stuff in the surrounding area a quick spray down and make sure no bleach or chlorine is sitting on any of that. Here we go, on to the next side. Alright, here, let me talk for a second. So, I don't know if you'll be able to tell or not in the video prior when we were applying chemical, but this top gutter was just completely black. And if you look now, go ahead and zoom if you can too.
The sun, it's killing me, I can't even see the sun.
I can't see the sun, not forget it.
Oh, let me just get up in here.
So, completely whitened up. And that's kind of something I wanted to touch on. Just because the gutter's black does not necessarily mean oxidation. You know, sometimes mold and algae and moss and dirt just makes it black, a big black stained gutter, and it's not necessarily oxidation. So when you do estimates and they're asking if that's going to come off the gutters, just, you know, you can usually tell if it's oxidation or not, but if you can't, just say, you know, 9 out of 10 times it comes off. The only reason it wouldn't come off of it is if the metal has actually, as if the paint has oxidized and it'll almost look like stripes. But all the dirt and organic matter and stuff, that'll come right off with the house wash, you know, kind of disclose that. Yeah, and then sometimes when you get that dirt off, there'll be oxidation underneath it, and it's just, it is what it is, but it'll look a lot better. So yeah, it's always worth, if the gutters are oxidized, try to upsell oxidation removal. It's not too hard to learn, and it's awesome and it's fast if you're pairing it with a house wash, because then you can just rinse everything once. So, all right, we're gonna get back to rinsing. I'm already over on this side, so kind of like the same thing. What I'm gonna do is focus real heavy on the gutters.
Real heavy glare.
Oh, I also see this corner. There's always going to be like overspray from applying the chemical, so I always do a quick rinse on the corner. It doesn't got to be perfect, but at least you re-wet and everything. So the goal is to avoid that stuff from drying. In the video, what I did was I actually sprayed the entire gutter first, rinsed that out, and then the, whatever it's called, fascia, eave, whatever you want to call it, that piece under the gutter where there's almost vents, it's paneling. When you hit that, make sure you don't hit it with too much pressure. Try to go as light as you can. Don't rinse it off, but not too heavy with the pressure. It's very dirty up in there, and if too much water gets up in there, you're gonna have issues with it dripping and dripping and dripping. We got the gutter, the fascia, or eave, and then we're gonna get that first panel of vinyl. Another thing to make sure with this paneling and eave stuff, it's pretty much the same material underneath like a front porch or something. Make sure you always rinse that very, very, very well, because the water drops will collect, and if there's any chemical left there, it's gonna leave a circle, a bunch of little circles under the porch. And we've had to go out and correct it, and it's a pain. It's quick, easy fix, but you know, it's still going to take like an hour of your time to go out there, set up, do it, and then leave. So just make sure you rinse really well. See, I'm rinsing the window off. So yeah, I did the whole second story first. I'm going to switch to the fan tip. Can't stress enough, don't use that second story tip. Don't stand far back and try using that second story tip because you don't feel like changing the tip or something. It's a lot of pressure, so it's only worth it when you're shooting up the second story. You don't even want to spray directly. You almost kind of want to use, like once it starts to curve, once gravity starts to let it fall back down, that's the area you want to clean with, if that makes sense. So you can kind of see how I'm not, when I rinse from frame to frame, you know? I don't just go, I'm not just going like that. Because you're going to have a lot of chemical stuck behind the frame, or if you didn't apply chemical the right way, you're going to have green and stuff around the edges. So you always just do a frame to frame, and just go all the way down. So we're going to get here. Always spray off the windows until they're running clear at least. You know, they're gonna have water spots. It's hard water. There's no avoiding it unless they get their windows cleaned, of course. But if you leave the chemical in there, it's gonna be a complete film haze, and no one's gonna be happy about that. So this section's done. What I'm going to do is get on the deck and spray that little bay section, and I'm going to go on the other side where we originally started and spray that down. We didn't spray that down because once we got around here we realized the gutters needed more attention, so we had to reapply the chemical onto the gutters.
You want me to cut the video?
Yeah, go ahead.
No. Oh, now I am.
Yeah, so I just wanted to make a quick note. This trim right there, make sure you always hit stuff like that too, because there's like, there'll be like a lot of black specks or whatever. Sometimes when you're power washing the siding, you get a little focused on just the siding, and you might neglect little stuff like that. But go ahead and hit it. It brightened right up, and it's nice and fresh, so it's worth hitting for sure.
Wait, make a bad joke real quick.
Huh?
Make a bad joke. I want to try something.
Hey, what's 2 plus 2?
4?
3. Hey, so the house is done. Just doing a walk around before I shut off the machine. I kind of want to explain why. I'm trying to find a good spot to show you, so you know what I'm talking about. Oh, here's perfect. Okay, I'm hoping this will pick up on the camera because they're very faint. So right here, I don't know if you can tell, but it's called a bleeder. And there's a little hole under the vinyl. It's like a little pinpoint hole, and they're all over. And that's where water gets behind the vinyl and it drains. So we power washed, everything's clean, and water just happens to get behind there. If you use heavy pressure, this is a million times worse, but still using low pressure. Sometimes you might get too close, or the vinyl, sometimes it's just certain types of vinyl is worse than others. Regardless, you have a bleeder. So it's all that is. Sometimes people freak out at first when they see that. It's just dirty water. It's all it is. Next time it rains, this is all gonna be gone, literally. All it needs is just a light mist just to clean off that dirty residue. So I'm gonna show you what we do. Come here, Colt. I'll have you do it. Stand far back. It's not gonna reach. So we'll do it, yeah. Stand far back. Don't ever aim it at the house when you press the trigger. So aim it like in the sky or... Almost too close. It's just like you're power washing again. Stand farther back. Yeah, you can get closer when you're doing up there, but when you're coming down, step back because you're way too close.
Oh, it's like right back here?
Farther, yeah.
Like that?
Yeah, there. Just enough so you can just mist it. So see how far back here? Just misting it. And you're gonna have to get up there, so change the tip. It's the one right next to it. Yep. And blast it. Alright. Just real light, as light as you can get it. See, he's just kind of misting that siding, not hitting it directly. Just kind of letting the overspray get on the house. Just like it's raining. You gotta mimic rain almost.
Oh yeah, I can't go further.
It's alright. Let's go ahead and hit this section. I think my followers get the idea. You can see where I left off. This you can just use the one story tip.
Yep.
The whole time. See? He's reaching all that. Now this isn't enough pressure to power wash, like if you're applying the chem. I already got all that over there, buddy. Yep. But when you're just misting it, all right, keep stepping back, step back. There you go. Cool, everything's wet, so this will dry really nice. All right, so the job's done. You always got to do, you're done, walk your hose all the way back out, like when you got here. Walk it all the way back out. So I walk my power wash hose all the way out so it's completely straight. I walk my supply hose, the garden hose, all the way out so it's completely straight. And now I'm grabbing my extension cord. Walk it out. It's not as important with the extension cord, you know. It's nothing to roll up an extension cord, but still, it makes your life a lot easier. Just have everything walked out, and when you reel it up, you're not fighting with everything. So, house looks great, everything's cleaned up, and it's a very good job. So right now, I decided I felt like packing everything up, and I got my helper, Colt. He's out doing the door hangers. We always do at least the 5 rounds, which is 5 houses down, then we cross the street, go all the way down, past the house we just worked on, and then, so 5 rounds is, if you're looking straight at the house, which is that house we just did, we do 5 to the left, 5 to the right, and all the houses across the street. So that gives you 20 houses. You just put door hangers on. It's just kind of like a radius bomb. All the neighbors saw it. So if they were interested, they know who to give a call. And if he ends up getting done before I'm packed up, he'll just probably keep working. He'll just keep putting door hangers up until I'm all packed up. And that's how we do a job, start to finish. Just make sure everything's wet when you apply chemical. Apply the chem from the bottom up. Rinse it off really well. Focus on the very top, rinsing that the best, and then rinse your way down. And always rinse off all the stuff around, like lawn furniture, decks, bushes, trees, cars. Rinse everything off that's around it that could have possibly got chemical on it. And if you rinse everything properly, all it does, that chlorine and bleach just turns into salt. It goes right in the ground, and all it is salt. Once you dilute it enough and it's done cleaning, it's completely harmless. It's when you forget to rinse it and just leave it on there and just let it keep doing its thing is when it can cause damage. Thanks for watching, guys. Don't forget to subscribe and like the video. I appreciate all the support, and I can't wait to show you guys our new setup coming. We got a 8 gallon per minute, 3,500 PSI. I'm gonna be investing in a trailer. I'm just deciding if I wanna invest in a tandem axle or a single axle, and it'll be fun showing you guys how we build that thing.